This is Outlandish Zicky Dice, and you're watching the best of old school and new school. This is the Nation Network. Outlandish.
Oh, it's true. It's so true. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McSham along here. Joining me for the ride is J-Rock73. Say hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
There you go. I've got him trained to do that. It's an amazing thing. I just got to throw him a snack every now and again, and we're good. Lenny's in the house. Purist. Damn, Purist. 2 days in a row. What's happening, man? Good to have you back. So, wasn't really planning on one, but yeah, shit happens, right? The funny thing is I went like almost 24 hours without Twitter. And then when I get on it this afternoon, and this is only good if I go verbatim. Let me see here. How did this work out? Talk about things that didn't age well. It's like I turn around, I get on, I was like, oh, Jay sent me a message, and it's a long one. And it's on the heels of WrestleMania, of course. Then he goes on to mention, boy, it really is long, isn't it? Hold on a second. Where does the damn thing begin? Where does it end?
Yeah.
I got to try and find this thing.
That's the thing. When I rant to you, I rant.
Oh, he went off. Yeah. He's like, so after thinking about the ending to the main event last night, and that's at Mania, I can honestly say that it was the right call. And I figured out, because it makes sense now, that there are two reasons why they played it out that way. The first is long-term booking. We, and that includes ourselves, have become so conditioned against it in recent years. And I believe Triple H is trying to get us used to it again. I started chuckling at this point because I realized that was prior to Raw. It goes on. Second reason is there's an event coming up between now and SummerSlam, and that is King of the Ring. And I feel between now and then, King of the Ring, we'll see Cody still go after the bloodline, but it's going to be a one-at-a-time kind of thing, taking them out as he continues to go after Roman. I'll leave it there. There's more, but you get the gist of it. And then we skip ahead. Wow, right. They got me 2 nights in a row. So basically that all went out the window.
Yeah.
Well, the world is talking about Monday Night Raw. If they weren't talking about WrestleMania, they're talking about the day after. And while we all knew the sale went through, and I think a lot of us probably saw the interview McMahon did along with Erie, whatever his name is, I can't think of the guy's name, with Endeavor, and talking about that Vince was going to be in control of he's going to be in control of creative, but not in the weeds. And I'm sitting here going, bullshit. Vince doesn't realize that the weeds and the mountain he thinks they're all the same. He doesn't know there's a difference between one and the other. So if he's in control of creative, he's in control of creative. And now the rumor mill is Triple H is getting his coffee for him. He's there in title and title only. Well,
he's there.
Fast forward to Monday night.
To play a fall guy.
Yeah, well, here's how that doesn't work. When McMahon left in disgrace, the ratings were here. Triple H brought them to here with record-setting WrestleManias that McMahon had allegedly nothing to do with, unless he really was controlling stuff when he said he was out of the company, which there may be some legalities to that. I am not sure. So all that said, what the fuck? It's like you finally kind of had it going right. You had the locker room was happy that they had a real guy in control there that understood them and listened to them. And now he's back, and terms that have been used by people in the know is that the locker room was nuked. That was one of the terms. Others have said, well, it's not quite that bad. Well, if you're saying it's not quite that bad, it's bad. But I'm going to go with
because it was, yeah. Yeah, I struggled through the show last night. It oh my God. Just from the opening, I don't know. It didn't have that same feel. And I knew from the get-go something's not right. And as the show went on, I was just like, fuck. Was all I could say to myself.
Well, and it's weird because somebody, I don't even know who it was, on, I think it was either Twitter or YouTube, one or the other, posted a poll. What did you think of last night's Raw? I actually liked last night's Raw prior to knowing, not that it matters that I know, but I'm more worried about next week's Raw and the one after than I was last night's. I thought last night's Raw was pretty damn solid, to be honest. But I was in 8% of the people in that opinion, and overwhelmingly 63% did not like it. And I'm like,
I didn't. Yeah,
because I watched Raw, almost all of it.
It's just when you, I guess that might be the difference, is you actually watch the whole show this time. Whereas I've been watching the show, and to have somebody like Seth Rollins come out just for his people to sing a song and then go back, that's not normal. And to me, that was a big fucking red flag, because he should have been out there bragging, boasting, and then them setting up his next feud. And there was none of that because it got cut during the commercial.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they didn't have something for him, or they just wanted to have more time for the Brock thing. I really don't know. I'll say this. I did not see Brock turning on Cody, and I should have. But it made perfect story sense. He can't go after Roman's title again. And Paul, of course, had the whole, you could find a partner in the back, but he's going to not get a shot at Roman's title ever. They're going to sacrifice that opportunity, see how many friends you have. Right. Thought that was done well. And then who would have thought Brock was going to be there? You figure WrestleMania, that's it. We won't see him for 10 more months. Even Paul used that line when he was talking to Roman after the fact, and they sold it.
Right.
Did you not know he was in the building? And Paul pulled off his act like he always does. So, they did a tremendous job.
I mean, when it got to the end part and Brock did turn, and just the feel of it, I'm like, this is John Cena 2011 to 2013 again. They're going to rehash that storyline. I'm like, I mean, we wanted adversity for him and shit, but Jesus Christ, come up with something a little more original. Maybe have them lose the tag team match, then Brock turn on him because they lost. Give us something different. Don't just throw the same bullshit we saw 4 years ago, 10 years ago at us again. We're not.
I recall
a lot of us aren't
a little
stupid.
bit of that. Yeah, I mean, I recall a little bit of that stuff back in the day. Oh, happy birthday, belated. Here's the thing. I don't even remember who Cena was busy dealing. Was that Brock Lesnar or was that Roman Reigns back then too? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then Brock took him off the trail.
And he had this. Yeah.
And what was the logic in the attack by Brock at that time?
The logic for it was he felt that he should have been the one going against Roman, and I guarantee you that's what he'll say next week when he comes out to say why he did what he did. It should have been me, not Cody Rhodes, blah, blah, blah.
No. Cody, you dumb motherfucker. You were supposed to win the title, and then I could have took it from you, but you fucked up. And now I'm going to kick your ass for it. Oh, yeah. You were my chance at getting the title back.
Well, that's what we would say, but I guarantee you that's not what will be said.
Letty, I'm not hating it yet. I got a feeling I will be. And Infrared, what's up, buddy? You coming back from LA. You survived. Congratulations on that. I've listened to Cornette earlier talking about, they're fucking Los Angeles with all the homeless people. I says, you fucking Democrat. You want to know why the streets look like that and you vote for all these people. Anyway, we'll get off of that subject before I get too deep already. This is the first year in my life that I'm not getting taxes back. And nothing has changed except for who's in the White House. And I looked at the same accountant I've had for 30 years. And I said, I know the answer, but tell me, why am I losing money this year? He said, because they say they're not going to add new taxes, and then they get in and they do. So, and it hit my girlfriend too, who makes less money than me. The lower you make, the more you're supposed to get back. That's how it works.
Right. Okay.
She literally broke even with once you pay the accountant to do the taxes. She made $6 on the transaction.
Goddamn.
I usually get about $800 a year back, give or take $800 to $1,000 back. She's been getting about $500. And now neither of us getting anything back. And in my case, I lost $40 in the transaction. Wait till that trickles to everybody else out there. Yeah, wait till people like my sister in the blue states and my cousins in other blue states. Wait till all of a sudden it hits you in the wallet now. Shut the fuck up. Don't want to hear
that to my parents. It did it to my parents, and they were like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Well, you don't."
Yeah, who'd you vote for again?
So
Remind me.
Right, exactly.
All right, back to wrestling, but I had to do it.
I will say
Devon
this.
Scott, welcome aboard.
I will wait till Friday, and if Friday's show is 10 times better than Raw, that will tell me that Vince is going to be running Raw and Triple H is running SmackDown.
Not a chance.
And I will.
He is not going to allow that to happen for two reasons. Number one, SmackDown is the Fox show. Okay, and they're in negotiations. So even though logic would say leave it alone, he's doing well. Vince has just got to be Vince, man. He's got to be the guy, and God forbid SmackDown destroys Raw in ratings. Now we already know where the problem is, but now it's going to be obvious to the world. Like I said, Hunter brought those ratings up the day Vince left. Now you can say what you want. Yeah, there's going to be that initial spike because people are curious to see what the new product is going to look like. But at the end of the day, that spike didn't go away. It stayed up, and they've done better, and they've had higher grossing house shows. It's been all positive under the Hunter regime, bringing people back that the fans wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Juan's talking about the rumor about Bailey leaving. It is a rumor.
Right. There's no concrete evidence of that yet. Yeah, and I say yet.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Sasha's done so well. And people like Matt Cardona have done. And think about it now. Does Matt want to come back now?
Fuck no. Because I just saw where it said Jay White officially said he will not be signing with WWE now.
Good. That's what they need. They need people to stand up and say, not going to play for this asshole.
Right.
They really, but the deal they signed, look, let's give the devil his due. Vince signed a dream contract. Yeah, you give up 51%, but you've got a 2 or 3 year guarantee of keeping your job, whether you get fired or not. 2 years. So for 2 years, he keeps that job. Nothing changes, and he gets paid. They fire him tomorrow, he gets that money and walks away.
Yep.
And he's still 49% owner.
Head of the board, the chairman of the board. Yep, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, again, I didn't see anything wrong with the show either. But I get it. I get it.
Okay, our surprise return was fucking Riddle.
Oh,
that's what we got.
I did cringe on that. I did fast forward through that part. I waited until about 9. Well, it starts at 9, so I waited until about 10:15 to start watching it, so I could. By the time we got to the end of the night, I'd be up to cue, but I wouldn't have to sit through the commercials, or if there was any bad stuff, which I really didn't have to fast forward much. It's a day after Mania; there shouldn't be much, but there was Riddle, and I fast forwarded through that.
Did anybody else hear all the boos Bianca got when she came out?
Yeah, she ain't over. People, it was like crickets in the house.
They fucking turned on her ass.
In the house. Yeah, Blaze saying they were too hyped for the return. Well, look, we've learned to get hyped for Monday Night Raw because that's what it's all about. The day after Mania is usually better than the card half the time.
It's supposed to be.
Some of the best Raws have ever been on the day after. AEW has a more stable women's division. I'm not going to agree with that. Unless that was just sarcasm. I don't know, but I would not agree with that. and right now, quite honestly, AEW is going to be lucky if they have a roster if they keep on Dante Martin everybody.
No shit.
I mean, the fact that they're allowing shit like that to take place is just the inmates are running the asylum.
And the bad part about it is, as much as I would love to see a mass exodus out of WWE of the talent, I don't want them to go to WWE because I want them to be fucking around for me to enjoy what they do. So it's
well,
like,
not only that, but now if they go to
fuck.
WWE, they might not be able to do what they do anyway.
No, I'm talking people leave WWE to go somewhere else.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
I'd rather see them leave WWE and go to New Japan like Sasha did and reinvent herself and fucking be over.
Yeah, her and Matt
And not risk
Cardona
getting hurt.
and even Mandy Rose. I mean, she hasn't been in a wrestling ring, but it doesn't matter. She's making $1 million a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there, I mean, I don't think Bayley can do Mandy's job on OnlyFans, quite honestly. But there,
I don't know. She does got to not. There'll be people to pay to see her ass.
Maybe. I wouldn't be amongst them, but then again, I'm not paying for Mandy's either. So I think the winner at the end of the day in this likely will be Impact Wrestling. I think they have definitely developed, generally speaking, a happy locker room, which is hard to do, and they've maintained it for a long time. And Scott has been very friendly, and now he's the president of the company, but he's always been very friendly with contracts. And if you don't want to be full time with us, that's cool. You can go do these other shows in the meantime. Plus, they only record once a month, 4 weeks of TV, so that gives you a lot of downtime. And they're on their way back up again. I mean, at some point in time, you would think they're going to get back to the point where they're doing more live TV.
Right.
Just Go says Raw was atrocious first show after Mania, and the only surprise is Riddle. Are you kidding me? All right, so that was the only surprise, but no, it wasn't. Lesnar laying out Cody was a surprise. Well, Lesnar coming down to be Cody's tag team partner in the main event was a surprise.
Right, but he's talking about returns or new people coming in or call-ups. We got nobody from NXT. We got nobody from the outside come in. We just got Riddle showing back up to beat up the Miz again. Yay.
WWE talks are dead. Yeah. Yep. No, again, I can't say how happy I am that he would publicly state that. He's probably not going to come out and blame Vince McMahon for being the reason, but I think anyone with a brain can figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say out loud what I think a lot of people in that locker room are thinking right now, and I feel bad about it in a way. But Vince is 78 years old now, correct?
Yeah, right around there.
He's 78 years old.
Old and senile.
Do you know the average life expectancy in America is 78?
Oh, we could only hope.
I'm just saying. Just saying. It's time. We tried to get you to ride off into the sunset.
I agree, Blaze. I mean, if I was Triple H, I would fucking throw Vince under the bus because Tony Khan would take him in a heartbeat to book his shows. And then everybody would jump.
He couldn't book his shows over there with that talent. Moxley is going to do Moxley shit. They're all used to going off and doing their cowboy. Look what happened when CM Punk tried to get them to act like adults.
Well,
I mean, look, that locker room's a hot mess.
Okay, then let him go to Impact. Build Impact up somewhere, anywhere.
I don't see him looking at Impact as anything other than a glorified indie show. And I don't think he would do that. I think for him, he would look at that as a step down.
I don't know if he could build it up to go head to head with Vince, and I don't know.
No, what is the laundry list of issues that women in WWE have right now after this weekend? They had 2 high-profile matches. Bianca sucked, but that's mostly because of her. Not entirely, but mostly because of her, which I think is also why she got a lot of the reaction she got last night. People are tired of her act. I've been tired of it for a very long time. Look, anyone can get hurt, Blaze. You're right. What happened to Shane happened to a 53-year-old man trying to do a 28-year-old man's job, okay? What happened to
Right.
Dante was fucking reckless. I'm assuming you've seen the video, okay?
Yeah.
And anyone who hasn't, it's all over YouTube, and it is as graphic as you can imagine. If you're squeamish, you are not going to need to watch this video because the man's leg and ankle in particular rotates and stays that way.
Yep.
And what the fuck did you think was going to happen? If you haven't seen the spot, there's a long ladder stretched across the middle rope from one side of the ring to the other. So you have a bridge in the ring going across the middle rope. Okay? Picture that. Now you have, like, what's his name? Pentagon or whoever it is, getting ready to do a Canadian destroyer to Dante off the ladder, which is bouncing up and down with the ring ropes. Okay? You're going to do it off the ladder outside to the ring side area where there are 4 tables, 2 and 2 stacked on top of each other. What could possibly go wrong with this idea? Well, you can watch a video, see it for yourself. It is graphic. So there's a huge difference between what happened to Shane and what happened to Dante. There's no reason to think Shane was going to get injured doing a leapfrog. By God, Jim Cornette had me cry. First off, him and Brian Last were, as they're recounting what happened, they are in stitches. They are laughing so hard. And again, it's like, I feel bad for Shane. I do. I feel bad for him. But my God, they're just going on. What is it with the McMahons? They have to blow a quad every time they get in the ring. And he tries to get up and he falls back down again. He's just cracking up. And Miz is thinking, okay, he stumbled. If I go around him, I can hit the other side of the ropes and it'll be, oh, shit, he ain't getting up.
Right.
He's like, I guess next WrestleMania, Stephanie steps in to wave to the crowd and she blows her quad. Oh, my Lord.
But yeah, I did see that Blaze where a guy in the audience had a sign that said, give Dana Brooks a chance.
I saw that.
Took the sign away from him. And and Dana actually responded to him and was like, they actually took your sign away from you.
Yeah, I did see the sign.
See shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember back in the day where they brought some funky signs back in the day.
Right. But it's because they don't want people promoting who they don't want promoted. And she's one of them. It's bullshit.
Again, she would do amazing in Impact.
I believe so. Especially the way she looks now. She's actually got herself back in shape and she doesn't.
I don't recognize her anymore.
She don't have that duck lip thing going on anymore.
Yeah, no, she looks like a whole different human being. I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
Infrared gets around, man. Over here in Kissimmee doing the Impact, over at LA. Then he's at the Supercard. Getting them frequent flyer miles, baby. Well, it was cringy on TV too, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, Vince is going to do what Vince wants to do, and that's the whole point of this. It's going to be bad. I mean, if you have a locker room that's not happy, it's going to translate in the ring. And already the fans were just, I mean, look, you want Roman to be the heel, he's the heel. Okay, he got that accomplished.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he got that heat going again. And I do see the logic. So, all right, if we just take that one storyline, because that's the only thing they've gotten right up till now. And man, Vince, if you fuck this up, it is 100% on you because Roman and company and Triple H have been driving this thing to the highest ratings, must-see TV. Wrestling hasn't seen anything like this in over a decade. Okay, so if it goes down, it's all on you. Just like I used to get tax money back, and now I don't. And the only thing that changed, not my job, not my income, only someone in the White House. That's the only thing that changed. So, same thing. Yeah, 90% of the roster over there don't have a whole lot going on. Grayson Waller. Even Grayson doesn't like him. All right. Hopefully Vince doesn't watch this and see that because you might get cut.
They'll probably get cut anyways. I did see
Vince
where
doesn't care about me. I find that hard to believe.
The guys, the tag team from Schism, they asked for their release.
Yeah,
Because
the two guys nobody knows anything about.
Well, you do if you watch NXT.
Nah, what Schism? Who? You don't even like Schism.
No, I didn't. I did, but before, when they were the grizzled young veterans, before they cut their hair and wore different color, they're a phenomenal fucking tag team. They really are. FTR. I mean, I would put them in that same class, but then they stuck them in that Schism gimmick, and they're done.
It sucks.
Yeah, they were like, we want our release. We're done with this dumb shit. And let them go to Impact, and then and then you'll see what they can fucking do.
And that's what Impact excels at, and it's still a national platform. I grant you, it's not Fox, it's not USA, it's not a TBS or any of that. But if you don't have Access TV, then it's on YouTube, and for a very nominal fee, you can get their monthly services. It's available to be seen, and the bottom line is they are giving platforms to people. So do they have big wrestling names? Not yet. Don't be surprised if they end up with a guy named Bray Wyatt. Obviously, that won't be the name he'll use, but I predict he'll be one of the first fired in the next 3 weeks. You heard that here first.
Yeah.
I think he'll be one of the first 3 or 4 names.
Because they're saying this deal was technically put in place back at Royal Rumble, but they didn't let it leak until now. So if Bray knew that back then, I could see him, because what was it, right after Rumble, he disappeared? If he knew that and knew Vince was coming back, he probably was like, yeah, fuck this bullshit, I'm cool.
Well, there's a video. He was on the streets of LA in a car at a red light yesterday. And the guy next to him rolled the window down and said, how come you weren't at Mania? And he said, tomorrow's my Mania, meaning Monday night. So there was theory that he was supposed to have a spot. A lot of the locker room stuff that's coming out by the people that know is that there were 2 or 3 matches canceled, and they were making changes 15 minutes before going on air again, like the old days.
Like I said,
I refuse to believe there's one person in the world that actually believed Lesnar was going to help Cody. Did you think Lesnar was going to help Cody at the start of the night when he came out?
You know what? I did, because I was like, this will be something fucking different.
I thought so too.
And then they gave me the same shit at the end. I'm like, you fucking assholes.
I mean,
now, like I said,
he's been a baby face.
Had they done right. But had they done the tag match, and like I said, Cody and Brock lost the tag match, and then Brock turned on him, I would have said, okay, I can roll with that, because it would have been different. Not Brock going, oh, I'm going to beat the hell out of you, and we're not even going to do the match.
Now, when Brock turned on Cena, were they supposed to be tag team partners that night too? I really don't recall that. I remember them having the feud, but I don't remember that moment.
I went back and was looking at shit today after all that, and I'm like, God damn it, if this ain't the exact same fucking storyline, almost verbatim.
Well, Jessica, I can tell you right now, I believed it because it all made sense, and they played it very well. And the fact that, the stipulation was put in there that whoever is your partner will not get a shot at Roman Reigns as long as he's champion. And then here comes Brock, who can't get a shot at him while he's champion. Makes sense.
Right.
And it's a night after Mania. It's probably going to be the last time we see him for months to come. Go in there with Cody, be his tag team partner, get it done, and then ride off into the sunset for 8, 9, 10 months. Made perfect sense. Gave the fans a little bit of retribution for losing the night before. Cody would pin Roman. It just felt like that was the next chapter of that story, so we can get some retribution. So was I surprised? Yeah, they got me. Which is good. That's the whole idea, just like they got everyone at Mania. And I said weeks and weeks going into it, They have to let Roman win. He can lose the next day. But everyone is believing, and even how they made that happen, all the leaked pictures of the Cody belt.
Right.
And even Triple H kept saying about, we're looking at, bringing the winged eagle type style back, and it's got an old I mean, he's already openly talking about a belt coming back for a guy who ain't won it yet. So it's the ultimate swerve. They did it right. Bayley's not happy. Charlotte's not happy. Dana Brooke was pissed that they're taking signs down with her on them. And many other women will be mad with Vince making moves. Yeah, no doubt about it. Look, Charlotte, I think, is done. I mean, the look on her face when the match was over, what she posted on Twitter the next day, I know it's in good hands now, as if that's it. I've done my job. I'm out of here. Bye. Deuces. Sasha Banks, Mercedes, has made a lot of these. You got to remember now, it's different with the guys than it is with the girls, or at least it has been. With the girls, they don't feel they have that ability to leave and make WWE money and to still have a national platform. Now they're starting to realize, not only can I make the same money, I might make better, and I get my freedom back where I can do OnlyFans or I can do whatever I want to do to make more money. And a lot of these organizations that you wrestle for, like Sasha's with this IWGP, how often does she have to show up for a program? Not maybe every week.
Once a month.
Yeah, she's not traveling 2 days a week, 3 days a week, doing house shows. And she's making Sasha money.
And that's the thing, between Mandy Rose and Mercedes, both of them together have shown that any woman in that company can go out and still do what they want to do. Right, exactly. And not have to be shackled by what WWE says they should do.
Yep, I agree 100%. Seth versus Logan at Mania was the most weirdest stuff ever booked. I don't know that I can say it's the weirdest stuff anymore, but it was what it was.
I don't know. It was all right. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good match. Cody himself looks stupid, believing Brock would help him. Again, it's the storyline they were running with, and they made sense of it. I bought into it. What video are you referring to, Neil Hooper? I'm not sure where we're at in the conversation. If you're talking about Dante Martin, it's all over YouTube.
Yeah, that's the
or
one.
If you're talking about Bray Wyatt, that was on YouTube as well, where a fan had his cell phone out at a red light and Bray was in the next car over and he just asked him the question real quick at the light. And Bray said that he was going to be. You saw that one?
There's also another one with Bray. I saw that one, and there's also another one where he was at In-N-Out, and there's a video of him there, the hamburger place.
WWE is going to survive, Lenny, simply because they are now owned by another billion-dollar company that runs things professionally. And for the most part, so does WWE, with the exception of their CEO.
What? Yeah, but what are they going to do when the ratings start tanking? Are they going to buy Vince out and say we can't have this, or are they going to sell off the property?
Well, it's real simple. If you allow him for 2 years to run your ratings down, it's going to take you probably 3 to get him back. So it's in your best interest. When I was working at Disney, we were told up front in management that whatever you have to do, if you have a guest that's really unhappy and it's legitimate, especially, sometimes people just cry because they want to cry, and even they get free shit because that's just the way Disney rolled. But if it's something where hey, we fucked up on this and that shouldn't have happened, he said, if you have to give him like $200 back, do you know how much it costs us to acquire a new customer? It costs us over $2,500 in advertising per customer to get a new customer in the door. So if you can keep one happy for $200, it's worth it. Same logic. You might be better off paying Vince to go away than let him sink the Titanic.
And again, all they got to do is go back and look at the ratings over the last, how many months was he gone? 8 months? 10 months, something like that.
Yeah, about
And
9
then-
at least.
Yeah. And then look at the uproar that was on social media today after one show. I'd be like, well,
Time's going to tell on this, obviously, but yeah, it's
like flopping around like Sid
no
Vicious.
lie. I mean, if you saw the Sid Vicious injury,
No,
it's pretty
right.
damn identical. Only different,
Right.
and even then, it all comes back to the same thing. People in charge were not in charge. Sid said, I don't want to do this spot. Bischoff told him to do it. So, same logic. I mean, I don't know that Tony told him to do it, but he allowed it. And then in the post press conference, man, we really love Dante. We're praying for him. We want you don't love him because you don't treat him as if you love him. If that were your son, I hope you wouldn't allow him to do that. But you're looking at it and going, oh, that'll be fucking amazing. Holy shit. Yeah, people are going to like that. And I'll tell you something else now with this purchase. You think that AEW didn't have some pressure and competition and all that going before. With this purchase, they know they're never going to touch WWE at this point. It's just not going to happen. He is fighting a losing battle. That doesn't mean he can't have a productive company that earns money. But you're never going to be number one. It's just not going to happen.
No.
It ain't happening.
Although I have heard it said that, or what today's what, Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday.
They better be Tuesday.
So tomorrow, so tomorrow night, Tony's got a super special announcement that he's supposed to say. I'd love to see him come on and say, I now own Endeavor. I would lose my shit.
No, that ain't going to happen. He's going to say, we have a release date for our video game, Wait Forever, and we just updated it so that Dante's ankle's broken. Blazed again. I know wrestling will have high-risk spots in it. Coming off the top rope is a high-risk spot, period.
I mean,
but doing what they did, when was the last time you saw that shit in WWE? Back with the Hardys.
And the Dudleys, yeah.
Yeah, and they got away from it. They were lucky to survive those matches.
And I mean,
off the top of the friggin' hook there with the belt and all that.
Yeah.
God damn, I don't know how they walked away from that thing.
And I mean, when I was doing wrestling, yeah, I did high spots and stuff, but Jesus Christ, I knew my limits. There's just some things you just go, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys that have finishers where they'll talk to the other guy who maybe just met for the first time, and it's like, okay, so I'll do this, and then you'll be here, and it's like, I'm not taking that.
Right.
At some point in time, you just have to put your own self-preservation in front and say, I ain't doing that. You do it. So, good luck to you. I'll watch. And I know you weren't comparing the two. I'm just saying that there's two different mentalities behind what happened. One is a promoter, booker, whatever you want to call it, Tony owner. There's an idea that doesn't look out for his talent. And he has a track record of letting his talent do things that are extraordinarily dangerous, not just dangerous, not just high risk. It's to the point where, okay, you doing this, the odds of an injury are at 70%. Shane's leapfrog was at about a 5% risk. It's the only lottery he'd probably ever win, but he won it.
Well, he does have those VKM genes, so, you know.
Sure does. But yeah, we're not comparing the injuries themselves. It's just the mentality that led to them is what I'm going with. And I just think Tony allows too much freedom and too many high risk. And I mean, when I'm saying high risk, I'm saying you have a 70% chance of not walking away from this move. Going back to when Darby came off the side, the top of that wall, not even in the cage, they were in the back room. He climbed a wall and dove off of that and did a senton through, or was it Matt Hardy? Or Jeff? No, it was Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy. Right before he got his last arrest.
It was Jeff. Yeah.
Like days before. Yeah. So, I mean, go back as far as you want, and you will see that Tony has allowed them to put themselves in positions where they should be injured before the night is over. And if they're not, hot damn, that's a good night.
And if you look at the companies too, it's like Vince and Tony are like the two ends of the spectrum. Vince wants to micromanage everything. Tony lets them do whatever the fuck they want. The only person who was the happy medium was fucking Triple H. He knew who he could trust to go out there and let them do what they needed to do. And those that couldn't, he's like, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah. Well, Bray's not going to say goodbye. Yeah, he's going to get fired. There you go. That was my prediction about a little while back here, and I said he'll be one of the first 3 to go. They always fire people right after Mania. That's the normal pattern.
Well, even now, you got to think that they want to do budget cuts anyways with this new, and this just gives them a reason to get rid of who they don't want. I guarantee you that Bray will be gone. Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano will be gone. And Top Dollar and his crew will all be gone.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Yeah. Legado del Fantasma might survive it just because they're linked with Ray right now.
And they're also Latino, and they're going to be going to Puerto Rico and stuff.
Right. So
you don't
they
want
got
to
at
lose
least
that.
another month out of there. Yeah.
And they're actually pretty good. I mean, they don't do anything
They
with
are.
them.
I've always liked them.
Yeah, they don't do anything with them to make them a value, but
Well, that's why I said I could see them going against Judgment Day and Ray be their figurehead right now. So,
which women are back there going, oh, Vince is back. Sure, I'll sign. It'll be okay. Well, look, let's be honest. I don't think Vince is doing any of that shit anymore. Number one, just too many eyes on him. Number two, I don't know if he can get it up anymore. I'm just saying, at this point, did you see him? Did you see him? No, I mean, did you just look at him in that interview with CNBC?
I couldn't get past the fucking mustache, dude.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I'm looking at him going, fucking Walt Disney. That's exactly who he looks like. Walt fucking Disney. I mean, dude, I was saying a long time ago, you should have been dyeing the hair, should have been dyeing it. He let it go white. It's like, man, just keep some color in it. You know, you're Vince McMahon. But that fucking pencil mustache, oh my God, it looks like a caterpillar got loose. It's terrible. And then the eyebrows. I'm like, oh, this is disturbing. You think any woman's going to give him the time of day looking like that? I don't care how much money you got.
That's why I think
they're safe now.
It's like, I know what I look like with just the mustache. So it's either the full beard or a goatee or it's nothing.
Every single person Lesnar shakes hands with ends up with an F5. That's probably true. I mean, Lesnar's never been one to play well with others, even when Heyman had him and the time where Heyman had him and CM Punk at the same time. But there was teasing of them having a tag team, not like to run after the belts or anything, but just a couple of matches. And that never did happen.
Blaze said he looks like Wayne Newton.
No, the hair and the mustache, yes, but the rest of that face melting away the way it is, I think him and Charlotte go to the same makeup artist. I mean, by the end of her match, she looked like a paint by numbers that a kid spilled water on. Looked like Disney threw up. Yeah, I mean, really, it was terrible. I mean, she's not an old lady, and she's looking like friggin' Moolah.
Moolah had a reason for looking like that, though. She beat herself to death.
What do you mean beat herself to death? They barely took bumps in her day.
Who?
They didn't. Moolah? They wrestled back then. They didn't come off the top rope and go through tables.
Well, that's right. But what I'm saying is they were rough and tumble. They weren't like the female wrestling later on that were.
I don't know, man. I'm remembering some Hell in a Cell matches lately that is, let's put it this way, Moolah could only wrestle into her 60s because she didn't do what these girls do. None of these girls are going to be wrestling in their 60s.
No.
Moolah was champion still in her late 50s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, had held it all that time. It is just not going to happen. Oh, brother. Well, anyway, Vince did the whole mustache thing so he could show off how his look represents the new WWE. That's not a better look. Like I said, he looks like Walt Disney just came out of Cryo Freeze. This cryogenic sleep is over. I know we all said the same thing, Blaze. I mean, she looked tragic. Let that be a lesson to all of you. This is what happens when you get married.
I didn't.
Your
I
face
was married
melts.
twice. I don't look like I'm. Mine don't.
You got a beard covering everything up. I bet if we shave that shit off, we're going to see a lot of Charlotte and Vince.
Well, that's why I keep the beard.
I'm the one who's single, not married. All right, I'm not saying I'm Tom Cruise, but I ain't melting, and I'm in my mid-50s. I go to high school reunions. I was like, damn, I look better than all these fuckers. I got to the point where I was asking people, how long you been married? I don't even presume anymore. If they've been married 25 years or 30 years, then they've been divorced at least 10.
Right.
The bitch took me for everything I had. All right. Well, we had to jump on and do this. I'm going to jump off, but then I'll be back in a little bit because I'm going to do some Nintendo 64 because I need a game that doesn't suck. I'm just so 2K23 to death right now. And the only thing I can say about it that has not been a miserable failure is creating some of Hal's artwork into 3D characters. But then you try to use them. I mean, if you saw our last stream, holy shit.
Yeah.
I booked.
I did go back and watch that.
Yeah, I booked the match where the Ika comes out and sits ringside to observe, and we all know the spot that's going to follow that because that's been seen a million times. But then as the match is taking place, there's two of them, the two competitors are on the floor now, and they're about to get counted out. So as the count hits 7, instead of being on the floor, they get thrown into the cutscene in the ring. And then the cutscene plays out. And then Ika, who was sitting in the chair ringside, that was the distraction, instead of just moving straight into the live action play, which it's always done in the past, the image of the scene fades to black quickly and comes right back up. And the only thing there is the chair. Ika's gone. She just Bray Wyatted herself away. And I'm like, gosh damn it, man. They just never, the more you play it, it's the onion. You just keep getting deeper and deeper, and there's still another layer, another layer, another layer. There is no end to how much shit they have screwed up that used to work. So that said, and I also don't want to completely forget the buttons that I learned about a week and a half ago. So anyway, that's my recap of the WWE, and I thought the perfect title was Game Over because Triple H, he's done. Like I said, unless Vince bites the bullet, and I hate to say it, but we can only hope.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight, and appreciate that. And like I said, I'll be back on just a few minutes here with some Nintendo 64. I just got to switch my stuff all around up over here. Take me a few minutes. So if you got nothing else to do, stop back and say hi, and whatever buttons I forgot, you can help me with, for those of you who have more experience with this than I do. In the meantime, say goodnight, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you again next time for more WrestleChat.